real quick. He said, look, I know this country has some problems, but you should be optimistic because we are doing better than any other big economy on earth. We've got 14 million new jobs in the last 5 years. That's the most jobs we've had since that other Democrat, whatever his name was. Then he said, not only that, for the first time in the history of the country, we have more than 90% of the people with health insurance. And he said, if you look to the future, it looks better. Why? Because we are younger and more diverse than other big countries. Look at this crowd here today. People from everywhere. Because we have the best system of higher education, we have the best infrastructure for science and technology growth. We got all this. Every scientific survey, and yes, our party still believes in science. Every scientific survey says that America ranks first or second in the world in the capacity to generate its own electricity from the sun, the wind, and other sources. Interestingly enough, the oil capital of America, Texas, is one of 3 states in America that already get more than a third of their electricity from the wind. One of the others is Iowa. They have the lowest electric rates in the entire United States because once you put the windmill up, the rest is free. So he said, be not afraid, embrace change, don't turn away from it. Now, everything he said was factually true. And as all of you know, because we had our convention here in North Carolina in 2012, I spoke for him there and defended his record because I think he's done a better job than he's gotten credit for. And the reason I think that is that it always, go back 400 years, it always takes at least 10 years to get over a severe financial crash like that we endured in September '08. And I told him once that sometimes our greatest blessings are our greatest curses. He got elected president on September 15th, 2008, way ahead of the election when the financial crash occurred. And then he had to drag his election around on chains for 8 years because it takes a long time to get it back. Now, we're beating the historic average in job growth, but we're lagging behind, just like every country in history has for 400 years, in getting the income growth of that. Now we can do that. So when the president painted that pretty picture of America, the real problem, the space in which this election is unfolding, is that there are still a lot of Americans that looked up at that picture and they couldn't find themselves or their families in it to save their lives. And that's why our friends in the Republican Party look like they're having a 6th grade food fight in these debates, because they know that they can't advocate what it would take to fix it, because it violates their economics by theology instead of evidence. And that's why in the Democratic Party there's so much anxiety, because a lot of people